High over the city, on a tall column, stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was gilded over with fine leaves of gold. "He looks like an angel," said the children who played around him. "How do you know?" said the mathematical master. "You've never seen one." "Ah," said the children, "but we have, in our dreams." And the mathematical master frowned, for he did not approve of children dreaming. In a melancholy desert there lay a city, gripped in chains of steel where the sun barely shone, a stony heart where love was gone. In the east the skies were black with the breath of industry, and to the west the great castle of the past frowned on its descendants. Yet in this fearsome place there stood a statue that shone with gold, and gazed with saddened face at its disfigured home. The statue shone untarnished by the ages, and the people were blind to his sadness. Far from this place there was a river, flowing as a crystal stream amidst the broken rushes, weeping to the song of the autumn wind, and in the cooling skies above, there was a swallow. Now the dancing waters became unfriendly. The reeded banks were touched by winter's hands. The swallow flew away in the evening sky, and icy clouds winged him on his way to summer lands. At the setting of the sun, he came to the city with the statue of gold, and rested there at its feet. The night descended upon the sleeping city, and in its stillness the statue spoke. "Many years ago I lived in the great castle. I was heir to the throne of all this land, and sheltered from its sorrows. I was called the Happy Prince, and happy indeed I was, if pleasure be happiness. So I lived, and so I died. And now they have set me up so high that I can see all the misery of my land. Little swallow, will you help this unhappy city? In the hilt of my sword there's a ruby. Take it and let it fall upon the streets below." And the little bird took the stone in his beak, and as he flew the city was taken by magic. "In my eyes are set 2 sapphires. Take them, little swallow, for they will take your wings to some deserving place." Again the bird flew through the darkened streets, and again the city was touched by enchanted music. The winds of winter grew cold, and the swallow knew no home in such a place, but the statue pleaded that he stay a while. "I am covered all over with leaves of fine gold. Take each one, little bird, and be guided by it in your task." What could a swallow do but fly into the enchanted sky with the leaves of gold, scattering them to the miracle of the wind, and seeing a magic overcome this place of wilderness? And so it went on for many days, until the swallow's task was finished. The city lived in splendour, even as winter fell, and the little swallow must die. Too late it was to fly to desert lands, and he flew up to kiss the prince goodbye. In the council chambers they spoke of the ugly black statue, so unbecoming to this beautiful city. "We must pull it down," they cried, "and erect a golden image of our civic laws." And so it was that the statue was brought down and destroyed in the furnace, and the body of the swallow was thrown onto the rubbish. The statue disintegrated, and the crown, the sword, the tearful face were gone, but the heart of lead had turned to stone and remained untouched, so that too was discarded on the rubbish as the cathedral bells rang out on Christmas Eve, and the winter winds blew cold over the city. On Christmas morning, an angel came to earth to find for God the two most precious things in this beautiful city. And the angel sought over all that magically shone, over all that was pretty, and chose for heaven a swallow that was dead, and a heart that could give no more. The Lord said, "You have rightly chosen, for in my city of gold this happy prince shall praise me, and in my garden of paradise this little bird shall sing for evermore."